We're going to tackle a seated hip flexor stretch today, which is really great to do if you've been sitting at your desk. So another one, great one to do at your desk. If you've been traveling in a car or a plane or even maybe a train, or if you bicycle a lot, also good for that. And the hip flexors are this part of the hip right in the front here. So we're just going to try and give that some length just because we do tend to sit a lot. But the reason I was really thinking about this is I was in my car the other day and I was driving, and I live in Los Angeles, and there's a lot of driving that happens in Los Angeles, especially on my part, and there's a lot of crazy drivers. And I realized as I was driving how tense my body was and how much my physical being was so tense because I was not only trying to control myself in the traffic and my own car, but I was like trying to force myself to control all the other cars and like force them somehow to do what I wanted them to do, which is really just get out of my way. So it just spoke to me of how wise the body is. And as soon as I just tuned into that and that registered, I was like, oh wait, I can make a choice here to release all that tension and not be so forceful in my driving or in my thought processes or just in my body, and release that tension. So our bodies have infinite wisdom, and this is one way that we can start to access it, especially in our hips, because we do tend to be a little stagnant in our hips because of our culture, our sedentary lifestyles. So this is kind of what we're going to look at, and then we'll go into the exercise. You're going to spin to face your chair, or you're going to sit firmly on your chair, kind of towards the front, and then I want you to scoot to the side. So it's kind of like one butt cheek on, one butt cheek off. This foot is really going to press down into the ground, and this foot is going to move back so that your toes will be lifted, and you're trying to bring this knee underneath the hip. So, you know, if you're really tight in there, it might look a little bit more like this, but what we're going to do is go here and really try and be there. So trying to get the knee over the hip. And then we're just going to breathe. We're going to add a little bit of extra stretch by picking up this back leg. Make sure that we're not tucking or arching the spine. I'm really active in keeping my ribs over my pelvis and my skull over my ribs. And then we're going to lower that foot back down, maybe go out a little bit farther back. And then we'll do a little side bend, reaching away from that. So get your setup. This chair that I'm sitting on is a little curved like this, so it's not the most comfortable, but hopefully you have a better chair that's flat across. So you're going to spin, rock a little around, find those sits bones, little abdominal engagement so your ribs are over your pelvis. Scoot to your right. Take your right foot back and just kind of crawl it back, and my heel is lifted and I'm hinging on those back toes. Also really good practice. Notice if you're rolling out on the ankle or too far in. I want you right in the center of that back ankle. Press into this front leg. Draw the belly in. So I don't want you to really feel like you're arching your back or tucking. I want you to round. A little lift through the front of the hips here as you reach this leg back. We're just going to hold here and breathe. So finding that knee over the hip. Reaching the knee and the heel on this right leg back. Breathing in. As you exhale, just drawing the belly in. Lifting through the front of the hips as you reach that knee back. Maybe you're able to go back a little bit more. Last breath here, breathing in. Exhale, breathing out. Then we're going to see, can we keep that knee there and lift that leg up? So I'm just going to grab this, and this might be too much for you. You might not be able to do this. So you're just going to pull the foot towards your hip. If it's too much on your knee, open the knee out to the side a little bit. I'm using my left hand to kind of hang on to the seat a little bit. Still drawing my belly in and up as I direct my knee down and back a little bit. 2 more breaths, breathing in. Exhaling, drawing the belly in. I'm right on top of my sits bones. Ribs are over the pelvis, skull is over the rib cage. 1 more there, breathing in. And as you exhale, you pull the foot in a little bit more, then release that foot down. Then we're going to add a little side bend, taking the right arm, the same arm with the leg that's back, up and over. So you're stretching these right ribs up and away from the right hip and right knee. I'm still reaching the right heel and knee back, drawing my belly in and up, so I'm not pushing my ribs forward here. Really scooping the belly back, bringing the ribs over the pelvis, then on top of my sits bones, so I didn't tuck. One more breath there, breathing in and breathing out. And then come all the way up there. Shake it out. I'm going to spin my chair around so it makes it a little easier for you guys to see where we're going. But you probably have an easier setup than that. So you're going to sit to the front of your chair and scoot to the side. Take the left leg back. Make sure you're aware of what's going on with that ankle. See, how far back can I go and keep my pelvis stable and my ribs over my pelvis. Just start here, right? So you're just breathing in and breathing out. Planting the right foot, reaching through that left heel, reaching through the left knee, breathing in and breathing out. Drawing the belly in and up. Breathing in and breathing out. Take the right hand to the opposite edge of your chair. Reach behind you, see if you could pick up that left foot and pull that left foot basically towards your hip, towards your butt. Draw the belly in and up. Bring the ribs over the pelvis and the skull over the ribs. And breathing in. And exhale, breathing out. If it pulls too much at your kneecap, open the knee out to the side a little bit. One more there, breathing in. On this last one, as you exhale, see if you can pull that leg in a little bit more. I'm pushing my hand into my foot into my hand, and I'm pulling with my hand at the same time. So there's a little play with the pressure there. So I'm pretty active in this stretch. Lower the left foot back down. Check in with that ankle. Reach that knee back. Reach the left arm up and side bend away from that left knee. Breathing in, opening up the left ribs. As you exhale, reach that left knee back, draw the belly in. Breathe in and breathe out. One more there, breathe in. And breathe out all the way and come all the way center. Nice. Shake out the hips, shake out the legs. So this is a really simple one, great one to do at your desk. There's other ways to do a hip flexor stretch, but this one's just a really straightforward, simple variation. And you can really make it your own, so don't feel like you have to go the range that I did, or if you want a little bit more, a little bit less, you play with it. What's right for you. Always going at your own pace and listening to that wisdom in your body. And I want to sort of just think there's so many ways in which our bodies and in our lives, we really are trying to hold it all together. And that hip tension is one of those ways that we try and do that. So I'd love to hear from you as you start to release some of this hip tension. How can you let some of that holding it together go? How can you just release all of that and just trust that it's going to be okay and that you don't have to fight so hard? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, keep moving.